Then we would like to welcome the candidates for county judge, speaking in the following order: Sidney Brown Murphy, followed by Benny Fogleman. So, Ms. Sidney.
Thank you, sir. And also thank you to CARE. I was one of your board members at one time also. Shelley and I actually served together. Okay, so I have to tell you that when I first came into office, most of you realized that we had some challenges ahead of ourselves. First of all, we had a $1.4 million deficit that we had to take care of. We had a budget that was obviously not balanced since we had that kind of deficit. And as if things weren't bad enough, right about then is when Walmart closed also. So we had bam, 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 multiple challenges. So the good news is we were able to eliminate the deficit, and we did that by going through line by line by line, cutting out things. We did not replace people that had retired or resigned, and so we held our own, and we got through it. And we've had a balanced budget ever since. And we have not had to use the general fund to balance our budget. We have done it with the revenues that were generated. Now Walmart. Walmart was a challenge because we had to go into job-saving mode again, because now we had members of our population, right, of Polk County, they were unemployed. And it all happened very, very quickly. At 10 o'clock, they told the administrators at Walmart they were closing, and at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they let us know and they let the city of Livingston know, and it was a done deal. So those were two big, huge things. And at the same time, what had created the deficit was the closure and the diminishing numbers that were at our detention center, which was where the part of the 1.4 million came from. So, and at that same time, if y'all remember, there were some rumors going around about how we were going to have an apocalyptic event with our government, and there were tunnels being built all over the place, and so we also had people calling us, panicking over that. So one of the things that I did, one of the funny things I did with Walmart is I called emergency management and I said, whenever our military is coming through, please ask them not to park at the Walmart parking lot. Last thing we need is people running around shooting each other over that. So we were able to get through that. We balanced the budget, the deficit is gone, and we've been working and focusing on economic development. But part of what I wanted to do today is focus on the things that truly impacted you all, okay, that truly impacted this group. So let's start with Walmart. My first instinct when I thought about Walmart closing was, we have other grocery stores. We have other auto shop repair shops. You can get your tires somewhere else. What about the pharmacy? The issue was the pharmacy. If you will recall, the Affordable Care Act had come out, and a lot of people had signed up to be single providers. So if your only provider for your medication was the Walmart pharmacy, then that was an issue. So we immediately got on the phone, started tracking down who to speak to on their corporate board. And I'm going to tell you, I told them there are three groups of people I'm truly concerned about. I'm concerned about our veterans, I'm concerned about our elderly, and I'm concerned about our indigent. And they said, well, they can go order somewhere else. Huntsville, Woodville, Lufkin, or Houston. Right. So I said, so which one of those definitions do I need to explain to you? Elderly, veterans, indigent. Right? So finally we got through to them. And I'm going to tell you, I learned the very, very true significance of two little words. And that is, when I spoke to them, I said, we need our medications, not because we need aspirin. What about insulin? What about cardiac medication? Children that are indigent can't drive to get that kind of stuff, and neither can our elderly and some of our veterans. So I learned the very true significance of two words: criminally negligent. So finally I said, listen, if one person dies because they could not get their prescription, then that man is coming after you, and we're going to file with the state, because that would be criminally negligent. That evening, by 6 o'clock, they contacted us. They said, the pharmacy will stay open. And the guy said, and I guess you want the eye center open too. And I said, hey, we can handle crooked glasses, but we can't do without our insulin, right? The other thing is we did Alert Me Polk County. Is that my time or my? Oh, sorry. We did Alert Me Polk County, and I would appreciate your vote. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.
Thank you. Now we'd like to hear from Mr. Benny Fogleman.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can you hear me? My name is Benny Fogleman, and I am a candidate for Polk County Judge. First of all, I'd like to say that I'm glad to have my wife, and my mom is here, and my daughter and son-in-law are here, and I have a very bossy granddaughter that is with me today. It's good to see you, Gracie. Again, I'd like to say thank you to Russ, to Sean, and to Salita for this opportunity, and appreciate you putting on this event today. Why am I running this race? I am not running this race because I need a job. I'm running this race because I need to make a difference. I have heard from people in Polk County, and they need someone in the courthouse that will listen to them and to be their voice. I'm running this race because I have heard from some of the county employees, and they feel unappreciated and disrespected by this current administration. I'm running this race because just to visit this week with the sheriff, they have some job openings, but they have not had one single person to apply for those positions because of the current pay structure. The very stake of Polk County's safety is at risk. I'm running this race because I feel that we need jobs in Polk County so we can expand our tax base and increase our sales tax revenue. I'm running this race because I want to bring back an economic development team so that we can bring every possible job that we can to Polk County. Our unemployment rate for the past 2 months has increased, and consistently we run about 1% higher than the national average. I've heard the outcry from the citizens about property taxes and property values, and I am the only candidate in this race that has put forth a plan to deal with the escalation of property values and property taxes. I will tell you, I can do nothing to affect the valuation, but if elected and with the help of the commissioners, I can affect the rate by which your property is taxed. I have put forth a plan that I am calling Inflation Plus 2, and the rest comes back to you. This year in this budget, Polk County revenues from property taxes alone are projected to increase at a rate of 7.7%. Under my plan this year, with a rule enacted, over $800,000 would have been returned to you, the taxpayers, because it's your money. And still the county would have grown its coffers by $670,000. And you can view my entire plan at foglemanforjudge.com. And what I am proposing to give back to the taxpayers is not an exorbitant amount. To a single mom, maybe it's formula, maybe it's diapers for her little one. To a family of 4, maybe it's just a few meals on the table, but it is important to that family. And to senior citizens, maybe it means that we get to have medicine and food for the month. Someone asked me the other day what the salary of a county judge was, and I told them I really didn't know, and I don't know. But I'll let them know too, I'm not running this race because I need a job. I'm running this race because I need to make a difference. And pursuant to section 26.006 of the Texas Government Code, a county judge can receive a salary supplement equal up to 18% of the compensation paid to a district judge. For Polk County, that would equal $22,100. And unlike my opponent, I will not swear to a testament that I know is false and not keeping with the law. By executing this affidavit, you are swearing that 40% of your functions are judicial functions. Per the calendar provided to me by her attorneys and the actual documents executed by our county clerk, it is evident that I could not reach that 40% threshold. You can call me old-fashioned if you wish, but I still believe that honesty and integrity matter even in politics. And I believe that doing the right thing when no one is looking shows the true character of a person. Again, I have listened to our citizens concerning our roads. We have to continue to provide a level of funding to adequately fund the Road and Bridge Fund for our commissioners. My opponent is the only member of the Commissioners Court this year to propose cutting the percentage of funding for our Road and Bridge Fund. For my open records request, documents provided to me by the County Judge's Office on July the 11th and July the 25th of 2017, she proposed cutting that fund. I will keep it open, and I would appreciate your vote, and thank you again for hosting this event.
Thank you, Benny. We're going to give the candidates for county judge the opportunity to rebut in the same order that we called them previously. As such, Sidney Murphy-Brown.
Very well. I'm not going to engage in the negativity. So, okay.
Flip that one.
Hello? Okay, I'm not going to engage in attacks. So let's discuss this. First of all, if you look at the record, the funding for Road and Bridge has gone up every year, consistently. That's in the documents also. If you are 65 and older, your taxes are frozen. You benefit from the new building because then that way we can have more economic development, better roads, better services, and savings for you all. But there's no money and there's no savings attached to money being returned. Okay, the average homeowner, and because I did the math on it, the average homeowner could sacrifice 15 deputies, that's what it would take for our budget, 20 clerks across the county for a $4 a month savings to those people that are the average homeowner in Polk County. So you have to decide. Now think about the 80s. In the 80s, the inflation rate was 10% to 13% in 1980 and 1981. That's when Matt and I got married. We couldn't buy a house because interest rates were at 22%. So if you say that you're going to follow the cyclical nature that occurs when you're doing the inflation rate, then you need to be prepared for it to go up and for it to go down. You need to be prepared for that. So that means that in 1981, your property values or your property taxes would have been 10 plus 2, 12%. So you can go, all of these documents are open, they're available on our website, you can check them all out, you can go look at the numbers. This last year, the 7.7 that he references, most of that is new properties, that's new structures. If we're going to have economic development, then we cannot slow down new buildings and new construction. But all of that only benefits you. It only benefits you, the taxpayer, and it certainly benefits those of you that are 65 and older, because you are not going to carry the burden for that. It's those of us that are still working, it's those of us that are younger, and I'm not even going to address any other accusations. Thank you, though. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Sidney. Now invite Mr. Benny Fogleman to rebut.
Sure, thank you. I would like to address the matter of 65 and over. We keep hearing that your taxes are frozen, and that is a true statement. However, what happens when you get ready to sell your property and you haven't been paying attention to those valuations going up? Let's say a couple that is 35 years old wants to buy your house. When the underwriter at the lending institution begins to look at that process and to process that loan, it's not going to be on the current rate structure of someone that is 65. They're going to make you go back and figure what the taxes are going to be for you without that 65 and above exemption. So I would urge you, do pay attention to those property values, because it will affect you. Maybe not what you're paying, but when you get ready to resell, it can make a very important difference. Again, I would ask for your vote. I would ask for your support. And again, thank you for hosting this event. I appreciate it.